Hello, 9th standard CBSE children. This is continuation of our lesson plant tissues part 3. We are going to discuss the textbook. But I want you to mark certain lines from the textbook so that you will understand still better. Okay, so this is our video number 12, last part of the lesson chapter 6. So far we are completing two lessons. One is chapter 5, fundamental unit of life, about the cell structure and cell organelles. Next lesson is chapter 6, tissues. Under tissues, we are learning it as plant tissues and animal tissues. I hope you follow now, right? Now this plant tissue, we are going to discuss from the textbook. Sorry, this video session 12 is from the textbook. Right? Now what you are seeing, as I said, as we learned in previous video session, it is the section of a dicot stem where it shows all the tissues as meristematic permanent tissues. What are permanent tissues? We know they are permanent tissues are simple permanent, complex permanent. Simple permanent tissues are parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Whereas complex permanent tissues are xylem and phloem. We are going to learn in this lesson. Okay. So have your PDF with you to have this lesson tissue. It's our textbook. Correct? Now in this plant tissues, now underline the second line, in unicellular organism, second line for in unicellular organism, a single cell performs all basic functions. Example, in amoeba, single cell carries out movement, intake of food and respiratory gases, respiration and expiration. Mark for unicellular organism. But in multicellular organism, there are millions of cells. They are specialized to carry out few functions. Are you listening? Yeah? Then, each specialized function is taken up by different group of cells. Since these cells carry out only a specific particular function, right? Particular function, they do it very efficiently. In human being, example, in human being, human being, learn that line. Sorry, go through that line. In human being, muscle cells contract and relax to cause movement. Nerve cells carry messages. Blood flows to transport oxygen, food, hormones, and waste material. Yeah. Same way, in plants, in plants, vascular tissues, human being function in human beings, muscle cells, oxygen, transport oxygen, food, hormone, and waste material. And now market in plants. Vascular tissues conduct food and water from one part of the plant to other parts. So multicellular organisms show division of labor. Very clear? Yeah. Then now you mark it. This cluster, this cluster, and this cluster of cells, end of the paragraph. This cluster of cells called a tissue is arranged and designed so as to give highest possible efficiency. I repeat, this cluster of cells called a tissue is arranged and designed so as to give the highest possible efficiency of function. I hope you understand. So blood, phloem, and muscle are example of tissues. Example note. Now definition, a group of cells that are similar in structure and are work together to achieve a particular function forms a tissue. Definition for tissue. Very clear? இதுல எல்லாம் மார்க் பண்ணிட்டியா? First unicellular human being example, plants வந்து vascular tissue example, and then definition for tissues. I hope you are doing it. Now there are noticeable differences. Come to this side. There are noticeable distances between the two. Now difference between plants and animals never there. Adila, it is describing about the locomotion. What is locomotion? Movement from one place to other. Say me, what is movement? Movement is movement of the plant parts or the animal parts. So the mark locomotion first point. Plants are stationary or fixed. They don't move. Most of the tissues they have are supportive, which provides them with the structural strength. Plant tissues we have learned now. Parenchyma, coelencyma, sclerenchyma. They give mechanical support. Most of the tissues are dead. Since dead cells can provide mechanical strength and need as easily live ones and need less maintenance. So this is marked as first point. From plants to maintenance, it is referring about locomotion. Correct? Then second one about the growth. Animals, second paragraph. Animals on the other hand move around in search of food, mates and shelter. They consume more energy as compared to the plants. So most of the tissues they contain are living. So this is the difference between plants and animals regarding locomotion and movement. To learn, mark these two paragraphs for locomotion and movement. Okay. The next for growth. And another difference between animals and plants is the pattern of growth. Please underline. The growth in plants is limited to certain regions, while this is not so in animals. We have learned the difference between plants and animals with reference to growth. And the plants will grow throughout its life, whereas animals will stop growing after attaining maturity. Yeah. Same time in plants it is limited to certain region. I hope you follow. Animals. There are some tissues in plants that divide throughout their life. Highest it grows taller and taller. Right? So there are some tissues in plants that divide throughout their life. These tissues are localized in certain region. And based on the dividing capacity of the tissues, various plant tissues classified into growing or meristematic tissue and permanent tissues. This is the growth. I hope you follow. Cell growth in animal is more uniform, so there is no such demarcation of dividing and non-dividing. I hope you follow. Then the structural organization of organs and organ system is far specialized and localized in animals than in complex with the plants. This fundamental difference reflects different mode of life by plant and animal group. Then they are also differently adapted for sedentary existence. They were a particular place where sedentary existence on one hand, that is for plants, and active locomotion on the other for animals, because animals will move from place to place. I hope you follow. So it is with reference to these complex animal and plant bodies that we will now talk about the concept of tissues. So now here it is given about the meristematic tissue. As I said, plant tissues are as meristematic meristematic tissue and permanent tissue, right? Now this meristematic tissue, the jar experiment with the onion glass tumbler onion வச்சு இது பண்ணேன்னா mitotic cell division. I showed you the slide in previous video session number 11. இல்லையா அதுதான் இந்த experiment. I hope you follow. So that meristematic tissue, it is activity to show growth in plants. Then the growth pattern in the paragraph. Growth pattern occurs only in certain specific region. This is because the dividing tissue, also known as meristematic tissue, is located at the OA region. So depending on that, they are meristematic tissue classified into apical, lateral, and intercalary meristem. They are as apical, lateral, and intercalary meristem. Apical, can you follow this? New cells produced by meristem are initially like those of meristem itself. Hello? Hello? Come. New cells produced by meristem are initially take like those of meristem itself. But as they grow and mature, their characteristics slowly change and become differentiated as components of other tissue. Disturbance. The growth of plants occurs only in certain specific region. This is because the dividing tissue, that is called meristematic tissue. We have learned earlier meristematic tissue. Other in the description. What you are seeing, the figure is this is a meristematic tissue based on their position. It is LS of shoot. As the given apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and local meristem. Okay? Now mark panna. Apical meristem is present at the growing tip of stem and root and increases the length of the stem and root. That is the first point. Mark it. Then second point, the girth of the stem or root increases due to lateral meristem. These are the functions of meristem. Okay. And third point, intercalary meristem is meristem at the base of the leaves or internode on either side of the trees. This is for functions of meristem. Learn this paragraph for functions of meristem. I hope you follow. And then next one, what is it? It is as the cell meristem layer, as the cells market the characteristics of meristematic tissue. As the cells of this tissue are very active, they have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose wall, the cell wall, and prominent nucleus. And they lack vacuole. They lack vacuole, but it will have small vacuole. Normally, they have small vacuole. I hope you understand. So, this is the characteristics of meristematic cells. Mark panni. Our textbook. Other than that, I have given QP. Meristematic cell, there are 4 points as this. So, I say characteristics of the meristematic cell. You have to mark it. The next, permanent tissues. What happens to the cell formed by meristematic tissue? They take the specific role and lose the ability to divide. So this process of taking up of permanent shape and size and function is called differentiation. What is differentiation? The process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and function of this meristematic tissue, it is called differentiation. It is very important in a plant process, right? Cells of mesosomatic tissue differentiate to form different types of permanent tissues. I hope you understand. Huh? So now we can say the cells similar in structure in the given diagram. Like how many types of cells can be seen in the given figure? Types of cells. And then we can also try with the roots. The simple permanent tissues, you actually can figure number explain we are already done. Right? A few layers of cells form the basic packing tissue. It is parenchyma, which is a type of permanent tissue. It consists of relatively unspecialized cell within cell wall. They are living cells and usually loosely packed so that large spaces between the cells. That is called intercellular spaces. They are present. Presence of intercellular spaces. Okay. And this tissue provides support to plants and also stores food. Function of parenchyma. I hope you are listening. Huh? This tissue provides support to plants and also stores food. At the same time, Antonella parenchyma will get different name based on its location selection as storage parenchyma, chlorenchyma, parenchyma, conjunctive tissue, pit, medullary, and the description in the parenchyma. I hope you are listening. Huh? So, in some situation, it contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis, and then it is called chlorenchyma. Mark like short answers. Then in aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma to give buoyancy in a balance to the plants to help them to float. Such a type of parenchyma is called parenchyma. I hope you are listening. This parenchyma of stem and root store nutrients and water. The function for parenchyma and it gets different name based on their location and function. Are you clear? Huh? Are you clear? The next one is about chlorenchyma. The flexibility, mark chlorenchyma. The flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue, chlorenchyma. Go through. Okay, just to go through. Flexibility paragraph. It is about chlorenchyma. Second, go through. Can you? Flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue that is called chlorenchyma. It allows easy bending in various parts of a plant, what are all leaf, stem, without breaking. Very tall tree, it is when due to heavy breeze or wind, it is moving up and down. Yeah, side la abhi chorndu kaatadikkiradhu solra. Appo vandu the stem will not break except due to heavy weather climate la da maram odangi. Otherwise it will not. The flexibility is due to this chlorenchyma tissue. I hope you follow. So the flexibility in plant is due to another permanent tissue, chlorenchyma. It allows easy bending in various parts of a plant, what are all leaf and stem, without breaking. It also supports to plants. It provides mechanical support to plants. We can find this tissue in leaf stalk below the epidermis. The cells of this tissue are living, elongated, and irregularly thickened at the corners. They are irregularly thickened at the corners. Right? There is very little intercellular space. I hope you understand. So first diagram, it is parenchyma tissue in TS, and then this is collenchyma tissue in TS. Correct? It is the parenchyma tissue in LS. LS na longitudinal section. It is the parenchyma tissue in collenchyma in LS. The red ones are the cell wall thickening. I hope you follow. The labeling for it, parenchyma nucleus cytoplasm, middle lamellar channel, idla fundamental tissues unit 5. When we are talking about cell wall, we said primary, secondary, and middle lamella. I hope you remember that. That you bring it here, correlate here. So this is one single cell. It is the second cell. In between the cell wall material as primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, the connection on the middle lamella. Primary cell wall is primary cell wall, the line on the middle lamella. And then it is having a vascular connection that is called plasmodesmater. I hope you understand. Whereas here in collenchyma, this is collenchyma. B is the collenchyma. End wall with the irregular thickening. Primary cell wall thickened at corner cell wall. Then chloroplast is present because it is a brainstem. Nucleus, vacuole, cytoplasm with the intercellular spaces. Okay? And then about sclerenchyma, it is sclerites and fibers. Sclerenchyma are of two types as sclerites and fibers. I hope you understand. So now these sclerites and fibers, 1 minute, see here, sclerites and fibers, next page. You can find another type of permanent tissue, sclerenchyma. It is a tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff. We have seen the husk of coconut and the coconut and the mulu, the elanil, the mattai, and the husk of coconut. It is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. The cells of this tissue are dead. They are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. The cell walls are thickened due to lignin. Correct? Lignin is a cell wall material. Lignin, a chemical substance which acts as a cement and hardens them. And often the cell walls are so thick that there are no internal space inside the cell, in the diagram. Okay? And then there will be pit, simple pit, the cell wall thickening a surrounding, right? And there is a center cavity that is called lumen. Okay. The lumen and the fibers like clear. I hope you understand. Right? This is the longitudinal section of the sclerites. The narrow lumen and then lignified thick wall. I hope you understand. So mark here. Sclerenchyma paragraph. And sclerenchyma stems are as a bundle caps, sclerenchymatous bundle caps, and then in the veins of leaf and in the hard covering of seeds and nuts. They are in the hard covering of seeds and nuts. That is what we say. It is gritty nature. The walberry, berryca, and the walnut, sometimes it is gritty in nature. Seeds, the weather karakaran and wild, the gritty nature is due to the presence of this sclerites, and it provides strength to the plants. I hope you understand. And then we are talking about epidermis. What do we know? The outermost layer is called epidermis. and it is formed of single layer of cells. Correct? And in some plants, the living in dry habitat, xerophyte similar, the epidermis may be thicker in, and they are protecting against water loss in critical. They are with the cuticle transpiration channel. So the entire surface of the plant has this outer covering of epidermis, and it protects all the parts of the plant. Epidermal cells on the aerial parts often secrete a waxy water-resistant layer on the surface, which aids in water loss, mechanical injury, and invasion of parasitic fungi. And this is called cuticle. The function of epidermis படிச்சுக்கோ mark பண்ணு. சரி, இந்த ஒன்னொன்னு பாரு, இந்த டயக்ராம்ல இதான் அது எபிடர்மல் லேயர். அதுல வந்து ஸ்டொமேட்டா இருக்கு. ஸ்டொமேட்டா சொல்லிட்டேன்னு ஸ்டொமேட்டா இருக்கு. I hope you follow. So the epidermis is usually made up of, இதுல இருந்து mark பண்ணு. The epidermis is usually made up of single layer of cells. In some plants living in very dry, அதுல இருந்து mark பண்ணிட்டேன். எது வரைக்கும்? Most epidermal cells are relatively flat in the area. This is for structure of epidermis and function. Another structure, what we observe on the epidermis of the leaf are called stomata. Stomata are enclosed by two kidney-shaped cells called God cells. And they are necessary for exchanging gases with the atmosphere. Enella, carbon dioxide and what? Oxygen. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Where carbon dioxide is for the process photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is taken in and oxygen is given. And during respiration, oxygen is taken in, carbon dioxide is given. And then during transpiration, which is the loss of water in the form of water vapor, that is also taking place through the this stomata. So this is stomata structure. I hope you understand. So you side la the first one, the function of epidermis, structure and function of epidermis in the paragraph. Second one, the structure of stomata. Mark pan. Note panika side la point only then you can learn. Then this point below this box, mark it as root hair. Mark it as root hair. Another epidermal cells of the roots, whose function is water absorption, commonly having long hair-like parts that are generally increase the total absorptive surface area. This is structure and function of root hair. Mark panna priye. Question A male. Now you are in 9th standard. You should know to make frame question of your own for every sentence. So for this paragraph, you write structure and function of root hair. I hope you are doing. The next paragraph, mark it as cuticle. In some plants, like desert plants, epidermis has a thick waxy coating of cutin, chemical cell wall material, a chemical substance with waterproof quality on its outer surface. Remarking. The next one, is this outer layer of branch of a tree different from outer layer of stem? Yes. As plants grow older, outer protective tissue undergoes certain changes. A strip, this is the first point. Then a strip of secondary meristem replaces the epidermis of the stem because it increases the girth with thickness of the stem. Cells on the outside are cut off from this layer, and this forms several layer thick bark. That's called thick bark or bark of the tree. The cells of bark are dead and compactly arranged with the intercellular spaces. They also have chemical called suberin, suberin in their walls that make them impervious to gases and water. Are you clear? Yeah? So this is for cork and about the bark. Bark and the மரத்துல பட்டப்பட்டையா வருங்க due to secondary thickness. அது வந்து cork and the next one, it is about the complex permanent tissue. So this is for another. First, meristematic tissue படிச்சோம் இல்லையா? First, meristematic tissue. அப்புறம் simple permanent tissues. Then we are learning about epidermis, about the epidermis. நான் இது actually சின்னதா அந்த descriptionல கொடுத்தேன், பட் நம்ம புக்ல உள்ளத நீ திரும்ப படிக்கணும். சரியா? And then about the complex permanent tissue. இது பாரு மரத்துல bark சொல்லுவோம்ல, அந்த வேப்ப மரம் பார்த்தா இப்படி பட்டப்பட்டையா இருக்கு இல்லையா? அதான் protective tissue சொல்லுவோம்ல. It is bark cells. Correct? Then about complex permanent tissues, as I said, here xylem, thickness chonella, annular, spiral, annular, spiral, scalariform, pitted, reticulate. Remember, these are the cell wall thickening. Okay, now here this is trachea. Then vessel, you can read it, and then xylem parenchyma. Now in this trachea, the cut பண்ணேன்னு அந்த நடுவுல பாக்ஸ் மாதிரி உள்ள எட்டி பார்க்கறாப்ல இல்லையா, அதுதான் the pipeline like சொல்லுங்க, that structure. I hope you follow. So இந்த உள்ள வந்து வெளியில தான் the outer part of the xylem tissuesல தான் the pit ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, cell wall thickening அது இருக்கு. And this is the vessel. Only difference, tracheids are narrow in nature, vessels are broader. And then tracheids are present in angiosperm, gymnosperm, and pteridophyte, whereas vessels are present only in angiosperm. The major difference. Are you clear? Yeah? So this is complex permanent tissue, xylem chondri. So the different types of tissues we have are made up of only one cell, but here it is complex tissue. Right? So xylem and phloem are examples of complex tissues. They are both conducting tissue, where xylem conducts water and mineral from the roots to the leaf, whereas phloem conducts food material to all parts of the body. So xylem will show only unidirection upward movement, whereas phloem will conduct both the direction and lateral direction. வந்து ரொம்ப I hope you follow. Then xylem நம்ம சும்மா repeat பண்ணல, read பண்ணல, இத பார்த்துக்கோ. Xylem consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. They have thick walls and many of them are dead cells. Then tracheids and vessels are tubular structure. It allows transport and water minerals vertically upward. And then parenchyma stores food and help the sideway conduction of water. And fibers are mainly supportive in function. I hope you understand. Whereas phloem, it is made up of, again, sheath tube, companion cell, phloem fiber, and parenchyma. Okay, so this is a diagram, understand. Then, except phloem fibers, phloem cells are living cells. I hope I am clear. The diagram, phloem, in the diagram for it, it is very easy. You have to practice for drawing. Right? The next one, it is the same lesson with the reference book as I did for animal tissues படிச்சோம்ல அதுக்கு சரி. And as I said, meristematic tissue, the characteristics of meristem பார்த்துக்கோ. அது நம்ம QB-லையும் கொடுத்திருக்கேன். Characteristics of meristematic tissue. Living cells are small, oval, polygonal, and round in shape. And they are thin walled with dense cytoplasm and nuclei are present. Correct? And then meristematic tissue, இதை நம்ம இப்ப பார்த்தோம், that you will understand. Simple tissue, parenchyma. இது வந்து normal parenchyma. This is parenchyma. This is chlorenchyma. என்னது? Parenchyma filled with the chloroplast. They are called chlorenchyma tissues. I hope you understand. And then in potato, parenchyma vacuoles are filled with starch. In apple, parenchyma stores sugar. இது ரெண்டே படிச்சுக்கோ. நார்மலா fill up the. Okay. Then collenchyma is a living tissue found beneath the epidermis. And the dicot stem figure comes in there. It is called hypodermis. It is also known as hypodermis. And cells are long with unevenly thickened, non-lignified walls. So cells are elongated with unevenly thickened, non-lignified walls. I hope you follow. Then cells have rectangular, oblique or tapering end and persistent protoplast. They possess thick primary non-lignified walls. இது வந்து collenchyma. இதுதான் நம்ம வந்து dicot stemல படிச்சோம்ல, hypodermis படிச்சோம்ல. சரி. In the figure வந்து sclerites and fibers. Difference between sclerites and fibers. Sclerites வந்து they are also known as stone cells. And this fibers they are also called supporting cells. Okay. So now here sclerenchyma consists of thick-walled cells which are lignified, and the cells are dead and do not have living protoplast. இது நான் ஏற்கனவே சொல்லியாச்சு, PPT-ல நம்ம படிச்சோம்ல simple permanent tissues-ல. Okay. Now come to xylem. Xylem, as we learned 4 types. இதுல பாரு நம்ம வந்து எப்படி படிச்சோம், நம்ம திக்கனிங் எப்படி இருக்கு, அதாவது இந்த மாதிரி ஹொரிசான்டலா இத போட்டுருக்கோம். What are the type? Pitted, scalariform, reticulate. அதான் இதெல்லாம். Can you see? First one pitted, இது வந்து ladder form, scalariform. The third வந்து reticulate. Then spiral. I hope you understand. This is the thickening of the plant tissues, right? And then xylem fibers, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, right? What do we know? Xylem vessels, long cylindrical tube-like with lignified wall with wide central lumen. And these cells are dead and do not have protoplast. That is very important. Right? And then they may be perforated and the entire structure looks like a water pipe. சரியா? There are description இப்பதான் கொடுத்திருக்கேன், white boardல சொன்னேன்ல. Same way with the phloem, 4 elements, right? And the conducting elements of phloem are called collectively sieve elements. The sieve tubes, they are elongated tube-like structure that are placed end to end. Then about the companion cell, we already படிச்சாச்சு. Okay. Now the difference between xylem and phloem, xylem conducts water, இது வந்து food material. இது வந்து unidirectional from root to upward movement, apical part. இது வந்து bidirectional, leaves to storage organ and growing parts. Okay. And then conducting channels are tracheids and vessels. Here it is sieve tube. And the components வந்து tracheids, vessels, parenchyma, fiber. Whereas இதுல வந்து sieve tube, companion cell, phloem, parenchyma and fibers. And phloem fibers, they are associated with the primary and secondary phloem. And they are commonly called phloem fibers. And then meristematic and permanent tissue. You can just go through this. I hope you understand. So this is for our video number 12, where we are talking about another textbook content of plant tissues. I hope you understand. So go through the lesson. QB will be given, and with that, QB will be given. With that, we will understand, and whatever you know that you have to follow it up. And as I said in previous video session, please prepare 4 PowerPoint presentation of any of these 2 lessons. ஏதாவது ஒரு heading. இப்போ tissuesனா you talk about either plant tissues or animal tissue with the beautiful diagrams. Okay, or you can talk about, you can say about cell organelles. எது வேணா you can do it. That you please get ready. I hope you understand. So this is our video number 12. We'll continue in the next video session. Have a good day. Thank you.